Hey, what's up, guys? Awesome back here with another video. More temp is actually cold. I mean, upper 30s, mid 40s, some places even lower. But they're getting there to be hitting floating flies and Popeyes and jerk baits and some deep diving crankbaits and stuff like that. A lot of shaky head action, a lot of finesse fishing. But I'm going to go over one of my favorite ways to fish from now all the way up to when fish start bedding. When fish start bedding, that's when I put this up, but just not going to do it. And that's a jerk bait. I love a jerk bait. Right now, I like a deep diver, KVD deep diver, 10, 11 foot. Throw you some 10-pound fluorocarbon on that. Well, I said fluorocarbon. I meant fluorocarbon. Throw that and get you a short rod. This is probably the best rod I've ever used for a jerkbait. It is a Cashin 6'6" fast, and it's in a medium. I actually broke this rod, as you can tell. But I loved that rod. It had a light tip on it to set up and get that erratic action out of a jerkbait and stuff. So that's a good one. Also doubles as a topwater rod. I've been over that before. Another jerkbait rod I like, and this is for my shorter divers, like 8 foot at max. So kind of like your Vision 110s that goes down to like 6 foot maybe, and stuff like that. Your Lucky Craft pointers, some of you rogues, and that is a KVD tour rod 6'6". I've been over this. This is a medium heavy. It ain't got a light tip at all, but it has just enough tip to make it dart. It ain't gonna be going real crazy. You're not gonna have that mushy tip when you jerk it down or nothing like you would with that Cashin. That Cashin, it just feels so much better in the hand than this. The line, go 10, 12-pound line, fluorocarbon. You do not want to throw mono on it because mono floats and it won't let your jerkbait get down as deep as fluorocarbon will. A lot of people throw braid to fluorocarbon. I just throw straight fluorocarbon, have great results out of it, and stuff like that. So that's definitely going to be an option this time of year. Another one is going to be a Ned rig. I love a Ned rig and a swim bait. I love those. I'm going to go over some jerk baits I actually do like. So I actually have this box with crankbaits and jerkbaits. I have it assorted by depths or by color. So I keep my shallower divers together and go over some of my favorites here. Take me an hour to take them loose probably. I'm going to start off with this time of year, so your deep divers and stuff like that. Ow. That was a hook. I also throw some budget ones in here for y'all. That way, if you ain't got $20 to go spend on Megabass, you can have some other options. So, number one, first jerkbait that I ever caught fish on. Because I used to hate throwing a jerkbait. Used to hate it. But first jerkbait I ever bought was actually made by Rapala. And that was that right there. $8-9. This is a Rapala Shadow Wrap. And it says Rapala Shadow Wrap Deep 09, slow rising. I didn't know much about jerkbaits. I didn't know if I needed a suspending one or a rising one or what. But That was the first one I ever bought. Absolutely beat it up on Cumberland. You can I don't know if you can see the cracks in the bill, but it's not cracked. I mean, it has scratches and stuff. It may be cracked on the inside, but it don't affect it none. So that's a budget one right there. The second jerk bait I ever bought, and this is actually my favorite one out of this entire box. It's going to be a 13 fishing loco special. These run about $13 to $15, and I got the 110 size. I had this in the spring. This was 6 to 9 foot. It worked great. I mean, you can try shallower ones and just keep going deeper. I say start with like a 6 to 9 footer. If they're not hitting it, go to a 10. If they're not hitting it, then a lot of y'all's gonna be shocked. But people use these for walleye, but they catch a bass too. And that is a deep diving rogue. So that's just a little tip. That was a hook. But those is my favorite ones. But what I was talking about this time of year, deep diving jerk baits, 10 to 12 foot KVD signature series by Strike King. This is a clown color. I actually tied it on. I don't even think I made a cast with it, so I know they work because I've seen him catch tons of fish on them. So now you're getting up out of your cold water. It's getting back mid 40s, mid 40s, early 50s. Start off with that 13 fishing again, that 6 to 9 foot. And this time I'm actually going to go the opposite. I'm going to start coming up towards shallower ones. So just a few here. You can play around with size and colors when you get your confidence up. I would suggest that 13 fishing though, but I like Lucky Crafts and stuff like that also. So this is just a pointer. That and they're small. So if I ain't wanting a big one, you can downsize to that little pointer. Still catch tons of fish. If I ain't wanting a thick one, go to that long skinny one right there. That is a flash minnow. And if I ain't wanting it, you can always kind of upgrade to a little Rick Clun there. And also, y'all should have known Guggen was going to be in here, so that's a little Guggen one there. It goes 4 to 6 foot. Some other ones, some great ones for basically dirt cheap, is going to be a Smithwick Rogue, like $8. Great jerk bait. Livingston, that is like $9 to $14 depending on where you get it. But that's a good one. It has that, I forget what they call it. It's like a sound. You hold that and turn on the sound, and it's good. Another one I have not tried. It's a Spro. I think it's very inexpensive, like $13. I know you're just like, wow, Austin, $13 is expensive. Yes, it is, but for a jerk bait, not really. Because the next one I'm going to go over is really high. But that's a little Spro. That's in Table Rock, I think. Table Rock color. It's a mixed stick. It's bad you got so many jerk baits and crankbaits you have to look at the bellies hoping it says what it says on the bottom. But y'all should know it ain't going to be a jerk bait video without the top jerk bait ever made. As a Mega Bass Vision 110. I got the shallow runner one. I think it goes at a max of 6 foot. I actually got this to throw a spring, and then it warmed up and I just didn't get to throw it. So definitely looking at throwing it this spring. See if it's actually a difference between it or my 13 fishing. because if it ain't, I'm just gonna load up on 13 fishing ones instead of mega bass, because I can literally get 2 of these for a price of one of these right at it. So that's us. Uh, One of my favorite ways to fish is gonna be a jerk bait. So that'll work from now to when fish goes to bed. On Laura, I was catching them. If y'all go and look at my Instagram, you can see it. Austin Napier Bass Fishing. No G, just in. You can see some fish I caught on Laurel this spring. And most of them was either on a swim bait, jerk bait, or spinner bait. Um, but most of them was on a swim bait and a jerk bait. I rarely picked up that spinner bait. I mean, I picked up spinner bait if I was just covering water, but at swim bait I was doing the same thing. So, this time of year, don't be throwing your bigger swim baits. I mean, if you want to, you can. I'm not going to say it don't work. I don't throw them big glide baits or nothing. I don't throw a Huddleston swim bait or nothing. But what I call a bigger swim bait for me is 3.8 inches. Well, I'll throw a 3.8 and a 4.3. That's as high as I go. I throw them in the spring. This time of year, I'm going to downsize to your little 2.8 Kitex, your 3-inch Kitex, your 3.3 Googans, and stuff like that. But that's just what I'm going to have on. I know everybody's different. I know a lot of people sets up and catches them on big swim baits this time of year. I just ain't had no luck on them. So I'm just going to tell y'all what I actually do know and stuff like that. So make sure to pick up your jerk bait, some lighter line, 10, 12 pound line, or them lighter ones like that Pointer SP. I would not throw it on a bait caster. Get you some spinning gear and go to work, because I tell you what, you're going to be having a blast. This time of year, you're not going to be doing like KVD and have that erratic action that's constantly moving your rod and stuff like that. You're just going to jerk. Then you're just going to wait, keep waiting, and when you feel like you're moving it too slow, go slower, because you ain't. Jerk, jerk, wait, pause. Basically, the longer and the better suspending jerk bait you have this time of year, the better off you are. I wouldn't go off the deep end and buy a mega bass right off the bat, because you're not even going to know if you like jerk bait fish until you try it. It ain't for everybody. Same way crankbaits ain't for everybody. I'm not a crankbait guy. I'll throw one if I have to. I have about 3-4 boxes full of crankbaits, but I throw what works for me. You all have to throw what works for you. So if this stuff don't pertain to you, then so be it. But if it does, then make sure to go get you a jerkbait and some lighter line. If you are a high school angler and you're not that experienced, you're just now getting into bass fishing, then I would definitely suggest getting a jerkbait and some lighter line. The lighter line, it just helps it run deeper. I mean, you can throw it on 17, 20 pound tests, but you're not going to get it near as far. You're not going to get near as deep or anything. So, this time of year, them fish is deep. I mean, you're not going to run the banks and catch them. Basically, this time of year, y'all are going to be laughing at me when I say this, but fish how you would if it's 90 degrees out. Because if you are laying on blacktop, you are not going to want to move. That's how them fish is with that water temp high. It don't take a rocket science to figure it out. The the shallower the water, the hotter the water, because it takes longer for the deep water to heat up. So when that water temp is rising, fish the banks. When it is cooling off, then fish the banks. When it's cold, like 30 degrees, go out deep, because you can run banks all day long. You may catch a straggler, but they're not going to be there unless it's a point or a flat, and they're not going to be right up on that point. They're going to be off of it. So that's my advice to you all. I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. I was just wanting to try to do a video today while it was on my mind. One of my buddies actually brought this up, and he's just like, hey man, I think that you should do a jerkbait video because I know you throw one and stuff like that, and a lot of people don't. So if you're getting into bass fishing, get you a jerkbait, get you some lighter line. Surely you got a shorter rod. I mean, it don't matter a short rod, it just helps go down, not hit the boat, not hit the bank or anything. It just helps you work it better. So that's about all I got, but I would definitely invest in a shorter rod, like 6'6", 6 foot, 6'8". The longest I've ever used is a 7 foot. I do not go over 7 foot on jerkbait, period. So that's gonna be that. But thank y'all for watching this video. The winners of the giveaway, I'm gonna be working on your baits here pretty soon. I'm finishing up Saddlebrook's order. That's why it's a delay on that. And stuff like that. But thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good day.